Welcome once again to another weekly webcast. Last week we did not have a webcast because I was in Iowa holding 12 town meetings. I've now been in about 71 counties throughout the state of Iowa. I intend to finish the remaining 99 counties during the month of August. So if you didn't come to my town meetings during July, I welcome you to my town meetings during the month of August. We're continuing another series in our effort to tell you how a bill becomes a law. Last week we told you about committee action on a particular bill. Today I want to go through what happens when the bill goes to the floor of the United States Senate. Assuming a bill gets a majority vote in committee, and if it doesn't, it won't be reported out. It then goes to the Senate floor. It is immediately placed on the Senate calendar of business. The Senate Majority Leader, this particular year it's Senator Reid. He's the leader of the Democrats. That makes him the Majority Leader. If Republicans were in the minority, or if Republicans were in the majority, McConnell would be the Majority Leader. But it's the function of the Majority Leader to determine when bills are going to come up. So he schedules them for debate. And assuming that there's no opposition to bring this bill up for a debate starts. Now, debate in the United States Senate is quite a bit different than debate in the House of Representatives, because we have no limit on debate. Debate can go on for an hour, a day, a week. It can go on for many months sometimes. Doesn't mean that for many months you might not be working on other things as well, but there's no definitive time when a bill is going to get to the United States Senate for a final vote. The House of Representatives is quite a bit different. A Democrat majority, a Republican majority, or a bipartisan majority knows that after so many hours and so many amendments, they're going to bring a bill to finality and pass it and send it to the Senate. There are only two ways that can happen in the United States Senate. One is by unanimous consent. The Majority Leader will ask unanimous consent that we end debate on a bill and vote on it at a certain time. No objection, then that vote will happen at that certain time. But if you don't get unanimous consent, then it takes a 60-vote plurality. 3/5 if all 100 senators are there, but 60 votes even if there's only 60 senators there. Unless 60 positive votes are cast to end debate, the debate will go on and continue until those 60 votes are gotten. That's referred to as a filibuster. A filibuster doesn't happen very often, but it happens much more often now than throughout the history of the United States Senate. The importance of the supermajority is so that minority rights are protected. Now, the minority now is Republicans, but for 12 years in a row, the minority was the Democrats. Now, in the House of Representatives, it doesn't matter whether Republicans or Democrats are in the minority. Minority in the House of Representatives really doesn't have much leverage to change legislation or to determine when a bill is going to eventually pass. In the Senate, the minority has tremendous power if they want to use it. It's one of those things that gives an opportunity to bring compromise to legislation so that neither the right wing or the left wing extreme will rule in the United States Congress like it can in the House of Representatives. The Senate then is the only position in our whole political system where minority views are protected, bringing about compromise. So you have to get 60 votes. When you get 60 votes, then you know debate's going to end in no more than 30 hours. It's a lot of times a lot less. And then you get to final passage, and you might only get 51 votes to pass a bill on final passage, or you might get 70 votes, even though maybe it was very difficult to get 60 in the first place. So
Mr. Bumpus,
a bill then finally passes the United States Senate. Two things are coming up in the United States Senate this week. The first one is a bill that we started before the July 4th break, the legislative appropriation bill, one of the 13 appropriation bills that we pass every year because all of the federal government's divided up into those 13 different appropriation bills. There's one for the legislative branch, one for the judicial branch, and then several for various functions of the executive branch. The next bill we'll take up this week is the Homeland Security Department appropriation bill, and that's one of the cabinet departments. So I want you to join in to our webcast next week. See you next week.